Hey everybody, got another video here for you. So it's not real pretty, but it'll work. I'd trim it straight on the edges and stuff like that and peel it back, but I don't want to get the blade into the foil, so form follows function. Aesthetics have to take second place. That's not to say I couldn't have at least tried to cut these a little more even length or something. Okay, this is about the last thing that there is to do on the guitar until more parts arrive. The tape is peeling back a little bit where it's severely stretched, a section where it has to be severely stretched. And also it's right at the end where you had to handle it, and so the adhesive got kind of dirty and doesn't stick as well. And just this little bit is peeling back, and it's peeled back like 4 times, and I put it back 4 times and burnished it. It just keeps coming back, but only this far. So I'm going to try a little film of CA glue on the wood and then burnish it back down again and see if that does the trick. So the new kill button came in along with the knobs, and they do match. The red anodized aluminum thumb screws for the pickup mounts. So yeah, this already has wires attached, but they're not long enough, so I'm going to need to extend those and mount this thing. And then I think it's finally time for the great gathering of the wires. So at some point earlier today, while I was waiting for glue to dry, like I am now with these guys, I went ahead and figured out exactly how many different combinations of voicings you'll get out of this thing. And basically what it boils down to is, like I said, you've got pickups with 2, 3, 4, or now even 5 wires. But basically you've only got 2 types. You've got 2-wire pickups and you've got 4-wire pickups. And then if they're active, they'll have a 5th or a 3rd or a 5th wire for power. And so yeah, basically you've got 2-wire pickups like a non-splittable humbucker or a noise canceling single coil or something like that, or just a regular single coil. And then you've got 4-wire pickups like your splittable humbuckers or something that's got like a coil tap on it or something like that. So if you've got a 4-wire pickup hooked up in both the bridge and the neck position, because remember, you can flip around and put whatever kind of pickup you want wherever you want, more or less. So if you got 4-wire pickups in both the neck and the bridge, thing's going to have 43 different voicings, and that includes the piezo, and that includes like all the different combinations of A coil and B coil and stuff. And plus, you can also turn it off. It doesn't include off, and that also does not include the volume blending. That's just using everything in blast mode, basically. You get 43 voicings just by flipping around AB both switches and the phase switch and turning the piezo on and off and turning on and off different pickups. Then if you've got a pair of like single coils in it, like lipsticks or gold foils or something like that, you get 7 voicings out of it. And then if you've got like a 4-wire and a 2-wire, like you've got, let's say, like a humbucker in the bridge, a splittable humbucker in the bridge, and then you've got like a tele single coil at the neck, then or a P90 at the neck or something like that, then you would get 17 voices between those 2 pickups. Or if you had it the other way around, if you had, let's say you put a quad rail at the neck, and then you put like a gold foil at the bridge or something like that, then once again you'd have 17 voicings between the 2 of them. So, including the piezos, and not including everything off. So, that's the number of voicings you'll get, and that does not include the blend modes. So you would have even finer control over those voicings if you switched it into blend mode. So I thought you might find that of interest, and that's like all the voicings that you can implement except for humbucker coils in parallel, which, as I said, it was almost identical or pretty much identical to either A or B split, and so I implemented it once on, I think it was the Curve Tri or the Curve Tri tail tuner. I put in one humbucker and I did all 6 possible voicings and made a little control panel and everything that did everything, and it turned out that half of the voicings were not very useful, I guess would be about the nicest way to put it, shall we say. So yeah, and out of all those voicings, I'm now using everything except for coils in parallel, which I don't know, I suppose I could do it. It might actually be a little brighter than just a single coil or a coil split. So I guess that would be something to test. I've got the spectrum analyzer now, so I can test it. So yeah, I'd have to do a guitar that had that kind of wiring though in order to test it. But more experiments. Okay, it's all done. Got the battery boxes hooked up. This goes into the EQ. And the second one, the wires run down into the panel, into the back cover. And they come over here. And the ground goes to the great gathering of negatives. That's the great gathering of positives there. And then the hot goes to your two power wires for your active pickups. And that completes all of the wiring, except I still got to hook up some wires, some JSTs to some pickups, so that I can plug something into all this mess now. But there's one small concern. I was testing to make sure that everything would pack down in here, and it does pack down in there. But when you get this thing down, this end's going to want to try to stick up a little bit because there's no screws there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a bit of brass here and just cut off a little bit and and bend it over and make it, rounded and nice. Drill a little hole, maybe even use this bit here with this hole, and make a little hook tab thing that'll hook over this end and goes in with a pick guard screw, and that'll hold this end of the cover down. Okay, and there it is. One little clip. This will screw into the side right there. And just kind of go like that. Hold this edge down. And the way I made it is, you saw I had that piece of brass that already had this hole in it. So I just took the aviation shears and cut out a little rectangle, took the pliers and bent it, and then took some 600 grit. First I tried lighter fluid, naphtha, to clean it up, but that didn't even touch it. Kind of like last time I was dealing with brass, when I was doing this thing. Yeah, I had to go all the way down to 600 and then went all the way back up to 2000 and then polished. But this thing, since it was already bent, was not easy to sand or anything. So I did it at 600, and it left it with a really nice, if the camera will focus, left it with a really nice kind of a brushed finish on the brass. And I decided to just leave it like that. So then I just took some 60 grit and went all around the edges to make sure it's not sharp so you don't cut yourself or anything. And that's all there is to it. And now I'm just waiting for, this is one of the screws for the back cover. And I dug out another one, and I'm just waiting for the paint on it to dry, and then I can go ahead and put the back cover on. But yeah, the deal with these screws where it is I got a whole sack of 50, real cheap off of Amazon, but the finish on them isn't all that. They were kind of rusty when they arrived, and I cleaned them up once with brake cleaner, but even after that, I put them in a fresh Ziploc, and within a week they already had more rust in the bag. So what I'm doing is, they're seem to be perfectly fine screws. The finish on them is just not all that. So what I do is as I need a screw, I just shoot it with the gloss black paint from Dollar General, and fixes everything up fine. Get a real nice finish this way. So yeah, once this screw dries, then I'll go ahead and I'll have 4 screws, 3 for the cover and 1 for the clip, and then I can go ahead and close up the control cavity. Okay, I think I've got it all ready to close up the control cavity finally. Everything's all tucked in and I just kind of taped it closed for now. I wanted to hang up the guitar overnight to get it off the bench and safe. And I did go ahead and put the knobs on it and such so you can see what it looks like. With the red hardware. Yeah, so it's got the red knobs and the red kill button and the red thumb screws. And now it's time to close this puppy up. So this is the 1 mil thick plastic sheet material that I got for doing like neck shims and pickup shims and things like that. But it turns out that it's actually gloss on one side with a protective film coating that you can peel off, and just like regular pickguard material, it's just thin. And then on the other side it has this marvelous grain kind of texture to it. And I'm going to use this side up in order to make the cover for the back of this. And the cover's only going to come up this far, so you'll have some gloss black, some of this textured black, and then some of the red wood as well. Yeah, so you know the drill. Everything gets hand sanded and hand finished so it's all nice and smooth and no sharp edges or corners or anything like that. Even if it's just a shim. And, you know, if it's dirty, it gets cleaned and polished. And God's in the details. It's actually a matte finish, not a gloss finish on the smooth side. And then it's got the textured finish here. And I'm going to coat it with some shielding tape. all that, and I flipping missed, man. It's off. It should be like right here. I'm just going to drill it again. There's nothing underneath it, no wires or anything, so it's okay if there's a hole with no shielding. So, yeah, prototype. It's relic, right? So it's time to start wiring out the pickups, and I was taking account of my JST connectors here, and all my pickups that I'm going to implement. And yeah, I've got 9 pairs of pickups for this guitar, and I don't even have single coils for it, just plain old single coils. But yeah, I do have 9 different sets of pickups for it, and I've only got 4 or 5 of these JST connectors. So I believe I got a 5-pack for testing stuff out originally. So very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to jump online and order up some more. And then I'll go ahead and I guess I'll hook up the EMGs, and I got enough to do 2 pair. So I'll start with that. Gotta love Amazon. Okay, I got 20 pair. Will be here in 2 days with free shipping for $11. And I need 18 pairs, or I need 18 female ends actually. I only need these 2 male ends that are already in the guitar. But I need 18 of the female parts. Get one apart here. Press the button. There we go. Yeah, I need 18 of these, and I only have 4. So, well, at least I should have 5, but I gotta go fish to find the last one. So, so yeah, they'll be here in 2 days, and in the meantime, I can go ahead and hook up 4 or 5 pickups, something like that, and solder on and get some strings on it and test out the electronics a little bit. Then the other thing I can do is I can also get to mounting up the other 17 pickups. So, I was thinking of redoing this cover panel here, where I messed up the drilling of the holes, but I lucked out, and it's never visible except when you're in the process of flipping the bar over. So I don't think I'm going to mess with it for now. Right now I'm setting it up for the strap position. And once again, my lack of forethought is snuck up to bite me. Battery boxes, and there wouldn't be room for a strap lock here anyway against this back cover plate. So yeah, so alt.plan.b, I've already marked out where the hole would go if the bar is up this far as it'll go. And which is almost parallel with the neck. Not quite, but almost. It's off by 2 or 3 degrees. So it actually swings away from the neck a little bit. But it's close enough. The other option would be you could leave it flipped over and then have it come way across, but that puts the strap very close to here, which probably isn't a really good thing from an ergonomic point of view, even though all the mass of the guitar is back here. So, so yeah, I'm going to go with it this way, and for the back side, fortunately I've got all that wood that I stuck down here at the bottom end of this thing, so there's plenty of beef to put the strap lock right here, and then the strap would run from back here. It'd run up over the player's shoulder and then up to here on the strap bar, which is basically a really long strap horn that comes up about to the 12th fret, but still gives you nice access to the neck. So yeah, I found out that these strap bars like this, they work really, really good. You would think it'd be all like in the way and everything, but they really aren't. In fact, my very, very first experimental build had a strap bar like this on it. That was the assault rifle guitar. It was actually it was a lot like this. It was a neck. It was the Fender 12 neck, and I only put 6 tuners on it and made it a 6-string temporarily. I bolted it onto a plank body basically, and then I glued a bar on this side, and that was my strap horn, so to speak. And I glued a bar coming down like this, and that was my leg horn, or for my leg cut out. And yeah, it actually worked, and it looked an awful lot like an AK-47 though. Except it had, like, you know, if you had an AK-47 with a straight magazine instead of a curved magazine, that's basically sort of the shape of the guitar. But I found that the strap bar really worked great. It really worked great. And it was almost the exact same size as this thing. It came up about as far. And it was about the same distance from the neck too. Okay, I think that's going to do it for this video. So until the next one, everybody, have a good one.